Hey everybody, Jay from This Week in Hearthstone Perils in Paradise. The cards have been amazing so far. I wanted to review a batch of them. I figured what we'll do now is we'll start with neutrals, and then by the time we get through all the neutrals, all of the classes will be revealed. We'll have some fun. I'm running multiple giveaways, so if you do not want to buy the expansion Perils in Paradise, and I don't see why anybody would not want to, but if you are unable to, I have giveaways going. I've got a link in the description below. I'll throw up on the screen the video thumbnail that you should be making sure you're watching. It's for subs only. There's other ways to win. On Friday, I'm going to announce more details, but you need to be subbed. If you are subbed, you will absolutely be entered into a chance. I've got multiple giveaways, not just one, okay? Exciting things are happening. Let's get into the card reveals. This one right here, what a way to start the reveals. Yeah, not really reveals. You've seen them, maybe not. We're going to talk about them. Maybe it's reviews, whatever. Perils in Paradise cards, part 1. Incendious, 6 mana, 2/10, elemental, and it's a neutral. And this thing is at the end of your turn, upgrade your eruptions. Battlecry, shuffle 5 eruptions into your deck. And look at the eruption. 1 mana firespell. Cast when drawn. Deal 1 damage to all enemies. So, at the end of your turn, upgrade those eruptions. Shuffle 5 of them. So, that's a lot of damage computed all together. If they're obviously drawing them in the hand. But I like this. I like this a lot. I was joking around on social media today saying, hey, this with Deep Miner Bran and with, the Reno and Highlander, this would be broken, gross. I cannot wait to play it. I would expect complaints to happen here. Maybe this could do something with Elemental Mage. Maybe, because it's an Elemental and it's pretty busted stats. Let's see what happens. I'm excited to be playing this one. Next up, AFK saw this the other day. It's a 5 mana 0/5 neutral card. At the end of your turn, give all other friendly minions that didn't attack +2/+2. This has a lot of indication, a lot of potential situations that this could be good. It's a 0/5, obviously. You're not worried about fighting with this. You're worried about, let's say the fact is all other friendly minions that didn't attack. Let's say you don't need to attack. Let's say you're putting up a huge board. Then they're +2/+2. So, yeah. Put as many things on the board as possible after you put out AFK, and then just set them. And then you have a beefy board that your opponent has to take care of. I am a fan of this. This is a legendary. You can only put 1 in your deck, obviously. Next up, Grifter, Trusted Vendor. 4 mana, 4/5. Battlecry. Discover an amazing amulet to give to both players. The enemies is a phony version. So, we're going to look through some of these. Okay, we have ours on the top here. Amulet of Critters would be summon a random 4-cost minion and give it taunt. We have the Amulet of Energy, restore 12 health to your hero. Draw 3 cards. Take control of an enemy minion until the end of the turn. I really dislike these cards. Take control of an enemy minion until the end of your turn. Well, yeah, you're going to take control of it, and if it has the potential, you're just going to kill it, and then it's dead. Stay out of my hands, guys. Stay out of my hands. Anyway, Amulet of Strides is reduced all costs of all cards in your hand by 1. That's pretty broken. Amulet of Tracking, get 3 random legendary cards, and then deal 6 damage. Now, there's 2 things here. You're only getting 1 choice. You're not getting, the shuffle the rest into your hand, like the Warlock legendary was doing before the Symphony. So this is cool that way. So it's not super, super, super broken. But when I'm looking at these phony cards, I'm wondering, Amulet of Critters, summon a random 4-cost minion and give it taunt, it can't attack. Are these cards usable? I would think that these cards are usable. Now, is it something that's not going to work, or is it going to do the effect? Because to me, this is not bad. A 4-cost minion with taunt, this could be game-breaking. If my opponent was given that. This one here, restore 12 health to your hero, then take 6 damage. Fine, I'll get a 6 health, card for 1 mana. These don't seem broken to me. Draw 3 cards, discard 2 of them. Yeah, that one's a little broken. I wouldn't want to play that one. Next up, take control of an enemy minion until the end of your turn. Has 1 attack this turn. I mean, what's wrong with that? I'll take the most important minion on the board and then mess with it. Amulet of Strides, reduce the cost of all cards in your hand by 1 except for spells. If you're not running a spell deck, these are beneficial cards. I do not know whether or not these cards are going to be able to be played. It looks like it. I see no reason why it wouldn't be. Like this one here, Amulet of Tracking. Get 3 random legendary cards, then transform into commons. Does that mean you get 3? No, most likely it's your legendary, and then they turn a common. Be interesting to see what this one does. I'm going to try the card out. I like the idea of the card, but I'd love to see the intended purpose of getting my opponents. I don't want to listen, I don't want my opponents messing with my deck and my hand and my board, and I'm sure as heck not going to want to give my opponent anything that could be not beneficial to me. So some of these look beneficial to the opponent. I don't know. Deal 6 damage to a minion. Why wouldn't you want that for 1 mana? So let's see what happens with this one. I'm cautiously optimistic like I always am, but this one, it's getting me weird vibes. Like, I don't want to give a benefit to my opponent. I want to defeat my opponent. That's what you're supposed to do in the game. This one's also really cool. 3 mana, 3/3 dragon, Gorgon Zormu. I said that right. Okay, cool. Battlecry. Get a 2-cost cheese. It summons 3 1-cost minions. It upgrades each turn. So you throw this out. You have this cheese in your hand, summon 3 random 1-cost minions, and then each turn it's in your hand, it looks like it's going to upgrade. So instead of it being 3 random 1-cost, next turn it'll be 3 random 2-cost, and so on and so forth. Dragon Druid, absolutely. I can see this being in any dragon archetype deck. It's a good card, and it could potentially save your Heine from certain doom. I like it. I'm a fan of it. Just play it on turn 3, have that around, just save it until you absolutely need it. By turn 8, turn 9, you've got some 3 random heavy cost minions that you could be playing. Interested to see what this happens here. And the signature art is amazing on this card. Next up, 10 mana Sea Giant. Hey, look, a giant. It's an 8/8, and it costs 2 less for each time you've used the location this game. So this doesn't mean what I believe is where you just drop down a location. So if you drop down the location and then you use that location, that's where it should count. That's how I believe this is intended. So, we saw the one card that gives you 2 random locations. You use both of those. If the opportunity strikes, this could be very, very cheap. I see this being used. I just don't know what exactly yet. We haven't seen all the locations yet. We've only seen 1 location. And remember also, the locations, the benefit of this location is you can play it immediately. Like, it's not like to where you play it once and then you wait like 2 turns. You can play this immediately. We'll get into that when we see that card. Next up, 6 mana, 6/6 Pirates. I knew Pirates were going to be a thing. I'm liking that Pirates were a thing in this expansion. When you look at the little icon from the reveal of the season or what have you, it had the little treasure map. So I like that they're doing this. And plus, Marin's a pirate. Dread Deserter has charge if this didn't start in your deck. So this could go in ETC. This is absolutely going to be discoverable. This could be super broken. I know we're going to see pirate decks across the board, it looks like, but we haven't seen all of the class cards yet. We haven't seen barely any of the class cards, so it might not be the case. Next up, 4 mana Carrion Grub. Battlecry, get a 1-cost suitcase. Pack the top 2 cards of your deck into it. It's a 5/4 beast. That one's pretty big as it is, and then the cards that you're throwing in, the Carrion suitcases, get another card and another card. We'll have to see on this one. I'm not sold on it. I think it's good. I'd like to get some other opinions and listen to it. I haven't seen too many other content creators talk about this specific card, but I'm cautiously optimistic, like I always say. Let's go. And the art's pretty fun, too. Let's see. 3 mana Mixologist, 2/3. Craft a custom 1-cost potion. So the cool thing is we get the cosmetic for this one. Every single time, and I know I've said this if you saw me on Twitter or what have you, I look at the card art for the signatures and I'm like, yeah, they're okay, and then I see the next one, and then I see the next one, and then I see the next one. I want all of them. This one's pretty awesome. I'm excited to see this one out in the wild. Someone mentioned today that, hey, this might be one of the rewards tracks cards. I would be very happy if that was the case. 100% happy. Okay. Yeah, the battle cry is craft a custom 1-cost potion. So we've got a couple options here. Get a random demon to your hand. Summon a 2/2 demon. This is obviously craft a 1-cost potion, so it's probably 1, 2, 3, and then it's in there, I think. I'm not 100% sure yet. So this is going to be 1 cost, but I can't imagine that all 3 of these, there would be 3 options here. It's got to be more than just maybe 1 option. Maybe 2 options. I don't know. It's saying craft. It doesn't say discover, so it's not, pools of 3. But this looks cool. It's definitely something I'm going to try. Absolutely going to try it, especially in spell heavy decks. And yeah, also the cosmetic is just awesome. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Next up, 1 mana Adaptive Amalgam. It's a 1/2 all tribe. And this has all minion types. Death Rattle. Shuffle this into your deck. It keeps any enchantments. This is going to be cool. I can see this working for hand buff, especially with, the Undead Death Knight hand buff. This could be worked in Beast in many different ways. Use this with Yodeler. There's going to be some crazy stuff with it. There's also the one that, give your death rattle to the adjacent minions and everything. There's going to be some broken stuff with this. I'm excited, and also the signature art is awesome on this one as well. Next up, 6 mana, 6/7 package dealer, an ogre. After you draw a card, 50% chance to draw another. Okay. That ogre deck was fun. The priest ogre, when it was set up, when Showdown in the Badlands came out, I enjoyed it. It didn't last long because it just got whiffed really early, but it was fun when it was played. So maybe we can bring something back. Maybe there'll be more ogres. Maybe there'll be more chances to play that because it was fun. 4 mana Octomasseuse. It's a mech and a beast. It's a 1/8. Deals octuple damage to minions. By the way, this card does not work with Always a Bigger Jormungandr. It's the same interaction with Morag Artificial. The damage is split by simple arithmetic. Then the damage assigned to the minion is octupled. If a 3/8 Octo hits a 1/1, it will deal 8 to the 1/1 and 2 to face. Okay. I don't know how that works. Way too late at night for me to be going over that. I know it's going to be used. I know it's going to be broken. The Octo card that used this before and Jormungandr, it's going to be pretty cool. Deal octuple damage to minions. I want to see this in use cases. I'll probably ask a couple of people. Let me know in the comments, too, if I'm missing some interactions that I'm not realizing. Please, let me know how this is going to be busted. I'm looking at it now, and I'm like, octuple damage to minions. I don't see why it wouldn't be, busted. If you're worried about it going on board and then just disappearing the next turn so you wouldn't be able to play it because it doesn't have rush, I don't think that's going to be an issue with the 8 mana. You're going to have to waste a lot. Your opponent's going to have to waste a lot if you threw this on board to get rid of it. So maybe there's some potential here. I just don't see the math yet. I was never good at math. 3 mana Bumbling Bellhop. 3/3 undead and a pirate. It's got taunt, and the battle cry is you're holding a spell that costs 5 or more. Summon a copy of this. Okay. I like that it's a pirate. We don't know all of the archetypes yet. We don't know what the cards are going to be, across the board for classes, but it's got potential. Absolutely. Especially if you could put 2 3/3s on board because you're holding a spell. I like the potential there. Next up, 3 mana Customs Enforcer, a 2/5 pirate. Hey, look, another pirate. I'm sensing a theme. Enemy cards that didn't start in their deck costs 2 more. Yeah. This one could be gross as well, especially depending on who your opponent is. I'm excited to see this, and the art is really, really cool. Excited about this one. Okay, here we go. This is one I was talking about, I think. 2 mana 2/2. Travel Agent. It's a pirate. Battlecry. Discover a location from any class. So we know some of the cards. This is the only one that we've seen so far for locations from this expansion, but we heard that there's more of them. But if you remember all of the locations from previously, there's a lot. There's a bunch of broken ones. There's a bunch of ones that aren't really used. So the chance of you discovering ones that are just, luck of the draw. They're crappy ones. There's got to be something for everybody. It might not work specific to your needs, but this would work. And then obviously it would pop off the Sea Giant discount. I think I said that right. Sea Giant. It's Sea Giant now. 7 mana, 4/20 Beached Whale. This one's gonna be broken. It's a taunt, and then the battle cries deal 10 damage to this minion. So listen, I'll throw a 4/10 on board for 7 mana that has a taunt, and it's a beast, so it can work with other fun stuff. And the art is also wicked. We'll see this card. Absolutely see this card play. Next up, 7 mana Snoozin Zookeeper. Say that 3 times fast. It's a 5/8, and its battle cry is summon an 8/8 beast for your opponent. It attacks all of their minions. So let's just go ahead and fall asleep while this rampaging beast destroys our board. First of all, also, this is the first time I'm seeing the Perils in Paradise icon, and I love it. It's amazing. Kudos. This is great. I love it. This is probably my favorite icons, and icons, to differentiate the sets have never really been my thing. That's really cool. I like this. I think it's cool. Maybe it's a little bit heavy on the mana side, but it's also got a good thing because it's a 5/8 when you throw it on the board. So we'll see. I'm interested in this one. Next up, 6 mana, 6/4 Pirate. Weapons Attendant. Battlecry. If you control another pirate, equip a random weapon from your deck. Weapon draw. I mean, who doesn't want that? Especially since if you control another pirate, which you might, with the way it works, equip a random weapon from your deck. It's just going to pull the weapon out and equip it. Why wouldn't we want to play that? If we're playing some sort of pirates and have some sort of control with weapons or what have you, why wouldn't we play this? This one looks really, really good. Next up, 5 mana, 4/7 Murloc. Look at that. Bayfin Bodybuilder. Love this. Murlocs are amazing. Any Murloc is a good Murloc in my book, even the crappy ones. After a minion is summoned for your opponent during your turn, silence and destroy it. That's got some super, super potential. Yeah, I like this one right here. Summoned for your opponent during your turn, silence and destroy it. So there's got to be some craziness. Please leave a comment. Maybe this is for something later on or what have you. I don't see the specific interactions yet, but that's pretty broken. Yeah, pretty broken. Next up, 5 mana, 5/5 Scrapbooking Student. Battlecry. Summon a copy of a friendly location. Sure. Friendly location. That means it's something that's on your board, correct? So 2 of those locations is a good thing. Yeah, this has some potential here, especially working on that location giant, if you will, as well as, listen, if you have a location, you have it for a purpose. For you to be able to summon a copy of it, let's go. That's pretty good. 4 mana Resort Valet. Look at the art on that. Battlecry. Discover a card from the newest expansion. 3/5 Pirate. I like this for multiple ways. Number 1, I love the art. The art is awesome. Number 2, discover a card from the newest expansion. So hopefully we'll be able to use this 3 years down the road when the new expansion hits. In Wild, maybe it's fine. I'm fine with it. I just like that. I just think that's kind of cool, because next expansion, this will be usable for cards from that expansion. It's very random. It's going to be very random with the amount that you can get, but I would absolutely try this to see what I can get and see if there's some sort of interaction that's even more broken than we've seen. All right, next up, 4 mana Sleepy Resident Taunt. The Death Rattle. All other minions fall asleep. It's a good death rattle. Yeah, that's a really good death rattle if you think about it. 3/5. It's pretty cool. I like it. This is going to be something that there's got to be some interaction with it we are not seeing yet, but I love the idea of, hey, you can put this on board, then, all the other minions fall asleep, so you won't be able to do anything with that turn anyway. I like this. This one's a very control-y board type of card. 4 mana Wave Pool Thrasher. 4/5 Elemental. Battlecry. Give all other minions -1/-1. Give all other minions for the Death Rattle +1/+1. Okay. has potential. I see this being a give all other minions -1/-1. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know about this one yet. I think it's going to have some potential, but, you know, it doesn't allow you to have anything on board, and it's 4 mana. So if you don't have anything on the board and it's at 4 mana, what are you setting up? I don't know. We'll have to see on that one. 3 mana Concierge. It's a pirate. A 3/4 pirate. Your cards from another class cost 1 less. That's great. Miracle Rogue anyone? That could be pretty broken. This card will see play, absolutely. And the art is just amazing. Wow, the art is amazing. 3 mana Cryopractor. Thank God. 3/3, the battle cry. Give a minion +3/+3 and freeze it. Okay. We'll see what happens there. I don't see the benefit of just 3/3. Well, I see the benefit here. Yes, you're going to freeze it so you can't use it, but maybe the intended effect isn't the punch to the face. Maybe it's just stay on board longer or what have you. There's utility on this card. Next up, 3 mana 2/4 pirate. Hosen Roughhouser. Whenever another friendly pirate attacks, give it 1/1. That's good. That's really good. We're going to see pirates. We know we're going to see pirates. This one's going to see some use, I would believe. Absolutely. Next up, 3 mana 3/2 elemental lamplighter. Deal 1 damage, improved by each turn in a row you've played an elemental. So this is going in elemental mage. Absolutely. If there's any other elemental decks being built for any of the other classes, this will be used. This is a pretty good card, and you can play this whenever, and you'll be able to deal all that damage. You can play this at turn 4 for a certain amount of damage, as long as you're obviously every turn throwing an elemental in. But usually the elemental archetype is you're doing that anyway. All of your cards are elemental. Like right now, the current elemental mage is you're playing an elemental every round of the game, 100%. Next up, 3 mana 3/3 Overplanner. The art is the best. I believe that's Greke. Wow. I'm excited for this card. Battlecry. Discover 3 cards in your deck to put on top in that order. So to pull in the deck, you get to choose which ones are which. I like this one as well. I think there was some talk on social media about this one, how it works, how it's intended to work. And my understanding is wherever this comes through, it's going to just discover 3 cards. So you'll have 3 groups of 3, and then you're just going to sort out which one goes first, which one goes second, which one goes third. It's a little clunky, but I'm sure after the first time of seeing it be played, it'll be easy to figure out. Next up, 3 mana Sailboat Captain, another piece of gorgeous art. 2/4 pirate, Battlecry, give a friendly pirate Wind Fury. This is going to be broken for several different ways. I see this working with that charge minion, the charge pirate. This one's going to be crazy, and I'm excited to see the craziness a little bit. I like pirates. I'm fine with it. Next up, 3 mana Terrible Chef, Battlecry. Summon a 0/2 Nerubian Egg, and then the Death Rattle is destroy it. Here's the Nerubian Egg. Summons a 4/4 Nerubian, so yeah, I'm a fan of the art. I don't know what this would be played in. I see it maybe in some sort of undead combination, but I don't know yet. We'll have to... Jury's still out on that one. Next up, 2 mana Bloodsail Recruiter, 4/1 pirate. Hey, the battle cries discover a pirate. So it's a pirate discovering a pirate, and in the background is another pirate. It's cool. Yeah, I can't really say too much crazy about it. If we're going to have pirate archetype decks, this will be in it, I would imagine. 2 mana 1/4 pirate, Coconut Cannoneer. After an adjacent minion attacks, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. This one also is really cool. And I love the art on this as well. Yeah, this is good. We're eating good on the pirate side here. This one I'm really excited about. And I'm really excited about for the art. Like, I've messed around. Like, you got Murlocs as waiters right now. Let's go. Let's go with that. I'm down with Murlocs being waiters. bellhops, if you want the Murloc to be a lifeguard, if you want the Murloc to, I don't know, do parasailing lessons, let's go with it all across the board. Drink server, Death Rattle, get a random drink spell. It has 3 uses. So this is the whole drink spell. This is random. Yes, so there's multiple drink spells are going to show up, and the way the drink spell works is it's in your hand. It kind of looks like the monkey or the bananas for Hunter. You have deal 1 damage to all enemies, and then you'll throw another drink in your hand that does the same thing, and so on and so forth until you're done. You only have 3 drinks of this. We still need to see the rest of the drinks, but I don't see why we wouldn't put this in a deck. Plus the fact it's a Murloc and a pirate. Do I think we're going to get any Murloc synergy? I don't know. We haven't had a Murloc deck in forever. I'm holding out hope that we will have some sort of Murloc deck. But I'm not holding my breath yet. We haven't seen enough cards. But I love this one, and it's a pirate, so it will absolutely see play. I see no reason for it not to. Next up, 2 mana, 8 XB 931 Housekeeper. After you use a location, gain 3 armor. We haven't seen all the locations yet, but some of the locations that we have now that are in standard will be used, and it will be good, so why not getting an additional 3 armor? I'm a fan of this card. Next up here. Okay, so the Tide Pool Pupil, 1 mana, 2/1. Battle Cry, if you've cast 3 spells while holding this, discover 1 of them. Look at the signature art. Tell me I'm lying when I said I want every single one of these. There's just not one that's been terrible. And listen, we still have more to go. I understand that. But, the last couple of sets, I don't think there's one I didn't want. So anyone that I get with any of the expansion that comes out, with any of the cards that come out, I think I'm going to be okay with it. I don't think there's going to be anywhere it's like, nah, no worries. Now, the original signature cards that came out, yeah, there was a couple I didn't care about. I still don't care about. Okay, we're almost done. We got 2 more to go through, maybe 3 more. This one we just saw. This is one of the first ones. 5 mana, 5/5 undead buttons. Shaman Tourist, which means that you can put shaman spells from this set, or shaman cards from this set only, into a Death Knight deck. And this is Battle Cry. Draw a spell of each spell school. I like it. I just haven't seen all the shaman cards yet. We've only seen maybe one of them. Maybe we haven't seen any of them yet. So I need to reserve, the judgment on this card yet. But being able to draw a spell of each spell school is a pretty good idea, especially since you're going to have other spell schools, because shaman cards can go into there. This has a lot of potential. This is next one. Sunsapper Linessa, Rogue Tourist. So again, the Paladin decks could have rogue cards from this expansion added to it. Your spells that cost 2 or less cast twice. So what does Rogue have a lot of? Little spells that are probably fun. We haven't seen them all yet, but there's some potential here. And plus, listen, all of the other holy spells that you can use, or all the other Paladin spells that you can use, there is a lot of potential here, 100%. And that's all we're going to deal with tonight. I'm going to go ahead and like I said, I'll leave a description, leave a link in the description of the expansion giveaway. And I'm giving away a regular set, the regular bundle, and then I'm also giving away a mega bundle. I'll talk about all the details. Definitely make sure you're subscribed to get all the information. I'll start doing more reveals as we go through the pipeline, just for fun, because I like doing this, obviously. And also, if you haven't yet, check out our Hearthstone Complaint Department podcast. We're on episode 2, me and Flair. We're kicking butt and taking names, and we're having a blast doing it. And yeah, thank you for supporting the channel, and I will see you in the next video.